Hey everybody, we are going to go through some at-home mobility exercises and activities. We're going to use a couple of different things. If you have a towel or a tight band at home, a belt, a strap, anything of that nature, we're going to utilize that to help loosen up chest and shoulders a little bit. Okay. If you have any type of a ball, a tennis ball, a lacrosse ball, a golf ball would work, but would be fairly aggressive. So think about what you have available to you. Okay, you can grab that as well. And then my favorite little apparatus is a foam roller of any kind. They can be very rigid, they can be really soft, right? So hopefully you have a more rigid one to use. That will get the best results, right? So we're going to go through a couple different ways to use all of those things and to stay nice and loose while you're at home. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab your towel or your strap and we're going to go through just some chest and shoulder stretching. So the first one we'll do is a pec and a bicep tendon, right? So you'll take what you have, you're going to hold it out in front of you, okay, and then from here you're going to just create a little outward pressure. Squeeze those shoulder blades back. You're going to bring that up, over, and behind your ears. Okay, once you get that thing behind your ears, make sure you're not arching your back. Pull your tummy in nice and strong. If you can get to the point where your hands are being pulled behind you, even better. Okay, just make sure your palms are up towards the ceiling. You want to stay here for at least 20 seconds. We want to allow that tissue to relax and get drawn back into a good stretch. After 20 seconds, you can then open that back up, take the pressure off, and relieve it. Okay, once we try that again, you're going to come up, over, and behind. Right? Get a big stretch through your chest and your shoulders. Okay, I'm using an elastic, but it's fairly tight, so it's not stretching too much. You can use a belt or a towel to accomplish the same thing. And then come back again. We've done 2. I would recommend doing 4 or 5 of those in a row. Okay, at least 20 seconds, 30 to 40 seconds would be even better. Okay, once you've accomplished that, you're going to take that same apparatus, you're going to drape it behind your back with one arm above, and then take your other hand and then reach behind you below into the small of your back or slightly higher to grab that strap. Now that you have it held at both ends, your top arm is going to press up to pull your bottom arm up your back into a stretch. So we're going to pull that bottom arm up your back into a nice big stretch. Okay, posture is still important with this. You don't want to sacrifice your posture just to try and get your hand farther. Make sure that you're keeping your belly button drawn in, you're supporting your spine, and you're not overarching. Okay, once you've held that up nice and high for at least that same 20-30 seconds or so, press down with the bottom arm to pull that top arm behind you into a stretch in the opposite direction. Okay, so now we're pushing down well through that bottom hand, pulling that top arm up into a stretch. Your elbow should be fairly vertical. Again, we're not arching our back. You got to keep that drawn in nice and tight, and then you can press up again. Okay, pull yourself so that bottom arm is up into a stretch. Another 30 seconds in each direction. Then you can release that pressure gently, and all we want to do is switch hands. So now my other hand will be up top, and my opposite hand is below. Press up with that top hand to pull my bottom hand up my back. Okay, keeping your knuckles right against your mid and upper back. And again, make sure that we're not arching through our spine. Now you can press down through that bottom arm to pull your top arm behind you into a stretch. Again, trying to keep that elbow close to your ear. Feel the stretching through your armpit into your ribs. And then we'll do another 30 seconds in each direction. Again, you want to do 4 or 5 in each direction for about 30 seconds each. Take the time to let those nerve endings calm down and allow for some relaxation. Okay, we're not always trying to get the actual tissue to stretch out. More often than not, we're trying to get the nerve endings to relax enough to allow for that tissue to just go back to its normal length. Instead of guarding and clenching, we want to try and convince it it's okay to let go and allow it all to loosen and lengthen back out again. Okay, so definitely 4 or 5 of those, 30 seconds a piece in both of those directions, and you'd be amazed at how much better your chest, shoulders, and posture feel, right, after doing those consistently for a week or so. Okay, so now we're going to look at how to loosen up our feet and our calves a little bit, utilizing any type of a ball that you have around the house. You can substitute small cans and things like that, but a ball is still a little bit better because you can get multiple directions going at once. Okay? So any type of a ball that you have available to you, right? I have 2 lacrosse balls taped together in the shape of a peanut. Okay, this gives me the opportunity to do a couple different things, plus it won't roll away on me, right? A singular ball is still just as good if that's all you have available. You're going to place it on the floor, okay, and then in either sock foot or barefoot, you're going to depress your foot down onto the ball and allow your body weight to really shift onto it so that the ball is digging up and into the arch of your foot. And once you have your foot placed on it, shift your weight onto it. You'll feel almost immediately how much that's digging into the arch of your foot. And then just maintain that pressure as consistently as possible. Okay, we don't need to go fast. If you go fast, again, you're causing those nerve endings to clench and guard. And we want those nerve endings to relax and allow that tissue to lengthen out, allow it to calm down. It's already tight. We don't want to freak it out and clench it even tighter. So allow that foot to mold around the ball. Okay, you can keep your heel on the ground, get the ball under your forefoot, and then just shift your foot gently from side to side. Right, we've done front to back. Now we're doing some side to side to loosen that foot up. Okay, you can work in more of a circular pattern. Again, nice and slow. We're not trying to wax on, wax off with our foot. We're just trying to get the ball to move gently around under our foot to dig into the arch and get all of those joints moving again. There's a lot of joints in your foot, and if any of them get bound up, your foot now doesn't work as fluidly and efficiently as it's supposed to, and that puts a lot of stress into your ankle and into your knee and all the way up into your hip and your back if it progresses to a far enough point. So take the time to really loosen up those feet and those ankles. You can switch feet after that, depress that foot onto the ball, start gently from front to back. Whew. This left one is a lot tighter than my right one was. Definitely feel it a little more aggressively on this side. Okay, so still keep an amount of pressure that you can tolerate. If it's aggressive and uncomfortable, don't push so hard that you gotta quit. Push hard enough that you can tolerate it and just work at that point of being uncomfortable. Okay, we gotta push out of that comfort zone a little bit because otherwise it'll just continue to get smaller and smaller and of that window of opportunity. So you want to make sure that you're pushing into the tissue and getting it to loosen up. Okay, don't stay where it doesn't hurt at all, but it shouldn't be excruciating to where you want to quit. Once we've done front to back, now we get some side to side going. Get that arch to loosen up. All right, try to keep your weight consistent on that foot. And then you can get a circular pattern going. Nice. That's starting to feel better already, actually. Just take a moment, breathing, relaxing, letting that ball do its job. So now we can take this ball and we're going to sit down with it. So now that we've sat down, we're just going to place the ball under the calf. Okay? You're going to put one leg on the ball. And all you have to do is with your hands in your opposite foot, just support yourself so that you're not worried about your balance and your core strength. Okay, allow your leg to relax on the ball and then just shift from front to back. Letting that ball dig into your calf. You can work all the way down onto your Achilles. This is where that peanut really comes in handy because it's not going to roll out and shoot out from under my calf. I can move my leg around to get the outside of my calf closer to my shin. Okay, and then come back to the back side of my calf, digging right into the meat and the muscle belly, working all the way down to my Achilles, and the ball is staying put because I have it taped together in the shape of a peanut. You don't have to use tape. You can just put 2 balls in a sock. Tie the sock off at the end, and that works just as well. Moving that leg around, now we get the inside of that calf a little bit. Nice. If you have a really intense spot of discomfort, just stay on that spot instead of rolling around. Find that spot of discomfort and you can flex and extend your foot. Get that tissue to get dragged along the ball itself. Instead of moving the ball on the tissue, move the tissue on the ball. You'll feel a remarkable difference. Instead of that ball rolling the knots and the bound up tissue out of the way, that bound up tissue has nowhere to go. It just gets forced to be lengthened across that ball. Okay, so find that hot spot and just kind of maintain pressure on it while you flex and extend the foot. Once you've done that leg for a minute or so, switch legs. All right, 2 to 3 times on each leg, and you'll feel a remarkable difference in how much better your feet, your ankles, and your calves feel after about a minute or so. Okay, so now we're going to move on to my other best friend, the foam roller. Okay, so the foam roller, this one is kind of rigid. Got some rigidity to it. It's not the softest one out there. Okay, you can get a long one, you can get a short one. They have 3-footers, they have 1-footers. This one's a little bit in between. Okay, nice for traveling. So we're going to start off by how to use this to roll out your glutes and your piriformis. Right, all the muscles in your rear end that put a lot of pressure through your low back if we don't let them get loosened up. So just placing this roller down, you want to have it perpendicular to you, and you can sit on it so that you have your one rear end focused on the roller itself, and that other leg is there for a little balance assistance. So just to get through the glute itself, you want to just keep that leg straight. Okay, my same side arm is balancing me, my opposite foot is balancing me, and I'm going to shift my weight from the top of my rear end to the bottom of it. And again, this is a slow motion. Okay, I'm not trying to just thrust my hips around and get it done. Okay, it is a take your time activity. You want to move from the top of that tissue to the bottom of it. You don't have to go all the way down the back of your leg. You really just want to work to the bottom of that glute. You'll feel where it inserts, and then your hamstrings kind of take off and run the rest of the length. So just go where that glute finishes off, and then back up to the top. Okay, same timing, 45 seconds, a minute. We're trying to get those nerve endings to relax, and remember that they're allowed to move through a bigger range than they may be interested in at the moment. Okay, we got to get them to stop guarding. So now if we want to expose, right, that medial glute and your piriformis a little bit, we can cross that ankle up onto your opposite knee. I would shift back onto both hands. So now you have some balance assistance at 3 points, and then just right above where that hip bone is. You'll feel where your hip bone is. Okay, we want to be right above that point, and just work right in that little spot. You'll feel it. If you have a tight spot here, you'll know it almost immediately. Okay, we're just working up nice and high, trying to open up that outside of that hip, taking the pressure off the nerve endings and everything that runs through those channels back there, creating some comfort for our low back and our hips. All right, same thing, about a minute on this muscle group, staying above that hip bone. And now we're going to straighten that leg back out, and we're going to switch to everybody's favorite, the IT band. If you've rolled out your IT band, you're aware. So you're going to put it below your hip bone. Okay, there's that bumpy spot right on the side of your hip, put it below that. That leg is now straight again. Your opposite foot is going to shift in front. Okay, so now I have my body weight on the side of my thigh, below my hip bone. I can brace myself on my opposite elbow and forearm, and this foot in front is going to be my other brace and balance point to allow me to move back and forth along the length of my IT band. Okay, so from my hip down to my knee. I want to make sure that I'm at least starting off moving the full length of that tissue. Right? Your IT band is really just a thick band of tissue that doesn't like to move very much. Right? It's two different muscles at your hip that come together, kind of create this band that goes all the way down the side of your thigh and inserts below your knee. And if those two muscles and that tissue get tight, they like to create all sorts of havoc at your knee and at your hip. So working as best and through the full length as you can. And just like with the calf, if you feel a hot spot somewhere, stay right on that discomfort spot and then just bend and straighten that knee out. Okay? Cause that knot to have to move with the roller kind of holding it in place instead of pushing it around. Right? Similar concept. After about a minute or so, we're going to switch. We're going to go to the front of our thigh. So all you have to do is turn over now. So now I'm facing downward. Okay, my other knee is out to give me a little balance. Okay, hands are bracing well, and I'm going to use my forearm and my hand to draw me along the front of my thigh, all the way to my knee, and then back down. Okay, so just making sure that you're moving the whole length of your thigh from your hip pockets to just above your kneecap. Okay, don't go across your kneecap. Right, but stop just above your kneecap. You want to make it all the way down there. A lot of people just kind of hang out up by your pants pockets. That's good, but most people have tension below that. So find where that tension and discomfort is and make your way through the whole length. Just like with the other muscle groups, if you find that hot spot, stay on that hot spot and then bend and straighten the knee on that hot spot. Okay, you can try to shift to the inside of your thigh a little bit as well. Okay, move that leg, find that hot spot, bend and straighten the knee. And then just move it back out again. Okay, once you've done about a minute to 2 minutes on each, the side, the glute, the side on your IT band, and on the quad, then you can switch legs. Do the same thing on the opposite side. Glute, IT band, and then quad, right? Making sure to get on the inside of the thigh as well. Okay, if you go through these consistently, right, at least 3 to 4 times a week, you don't have to do it all in one sitting. Okay, focus on your chest and shoulders one day, focus on your glutes and your thighs another day. Make sure you're rolling out the arch of your foot, okay, and your calf. You'd be amazed at how much tension you actually have down there and you didn't even realize it. Okay, opening all these up is just going to help you feel better in the long run. Okay, and we'll do another video coming up on a couple other muscle groups as well. Until next time, stay focused, stay safe, stay healthy. Bye.